Hi, welcome to Curiosity. I'm Gary J, your host, and today I thought I'd ask the question, is there such a thing as Bigfoot?
The desire to know and learn something.
You're listening to Gary J's Curiosity.
Well, if I've said it once, I've said it a million times. There are a lot of things in this world that we just don't understand, or in some cases don't even know about. But is Bigfoot one of them? Well, for most of us, I suppose the most famous sighting is that of the 1967 video, which shows what looks like to be an ape-shaped creature walking through the woods. Now, when this hit the headlines, that was the start of other sightings which have carried on until present day. And now, we even have numerous Bigfoot hunters and groups dedicated to find what some people claim to be a missing link, while others claim to be a hoax. But according to some, the sightings of such things actually go back as far as the 1800s, and in some cases, further according to Indian folklore. But are these sightings real? Well, a majority of mainstream scientists have often discounted the existence of Bigfoot, considering it to be nothing more than a combination of folklore, misidentification, and hoaxes, rather than an actual living animal. But how can a being of such stature be misidentified? Well, I suppose on most occasions it could actually be a bear stood on its hind legs, and some other sort of animal like an elk that isn't fully visible, and people seeing this actually let their imagination get hold of them, and then all of a sudden their brain is trying to make sense of something that they wasn't too sure of in the first place, and then all of a sudden 2 and 2 makes 9. But what if, on some other occasions, there really is something being seen that is unknown to science? I mean, where are all these extremely large human-like footprints coming from that are often seen in mud and in the snow, etc.? And why is it that cultures that have had no or very limited contact with each other across the world have such similar stories and descriptions?
You're listening to the Curiosity podcast.
Well, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti and the Yowie are just some of the names that these beings actually go by, and they stretch from the US to Canada, over to Australia, and then even to the Himalayas. Well, like everything, including ghosts and UFOs, there were those out there who would claim to see things just to cause a bit of a stir in the hope of making a quick few quid. Because let's face it, if it's a good enough story, some people can actually make a living from it for years, and if the story has a video attached, whether it's true or not, and that video goes viral, it can really make a nice tidy sum. But don't forget, there are those of us who will continue to see things simply because of mental health issues.
You're listening to Gary J's Curiosity.
But let's go back to the Bigfoot prints that are in the snow. Well, most of these have all been proven to be faked using a plaster cast or something similar which is in shape of the feet, which is then pushed into the snow. But in the case of places like the Himalayas, could you really be arsed walking all that way up a mountain, etc., in such extreme conditions to perform a hoax? Well, I suppose for those locals who don't have much, it might be worth it just in order to cash in when people like TV crews or visitors come passing through. And for those in places like the US, what you'll normally find is that those footprints are owned by Bigfoot hunters who also have a small tourist business going on in the background. Even those who claim to have scalps, claws, skin and hair from such creatures have all been proven to have either been faked or are just mistaken identity of something, especially when they've been scientifically tested. My personal view is that in this day and age of satellites, infrared goggles, ultra-zoom lenses, 4K video and more, it's highly unlikely that such a being could stay hidden for long. But even if there is such a creature out there, I personally think it would be better off staying hidden in order to keep them safe, because you can guarantee that once they are proven to be real, their fate will be sealed. So what's your thoughts? Do you think the Bigfoot is real? If so, leave me a message. Thanks for listening, and remember you can catch Curiosity on Amazon Prime. I'm Gary J, and you've been listening to the Curiosity podcast, and as always, remember, do something that scares you.
The desire to know and learn something.
You're listening to Gary J's Curiosity.